was burning. The clouds red with twisted fire. Lightning moving across them. And they descended upon everything. Like a furious battle between God and Satan, good and evil. Like a fire vortex.
What is up, everyone? Welcome into yet another SGL stream. We have another doubleheader for you all. Yeah, 2 doubleheaders in a row, eh? Looking forward to this one as well because we got 2 really spicy matchups here. Starting with Timbers Army versus Emerald City RC, and then immediately followed by Black Army versus KC Cauldron. This is the Only Bazaar, and with me in this commentary booth, it's been a while since we've had it, so please, everyone, welcome back, Corn Dog Sean.
Happy to be here, Maz. Happy for this rivalry match, the Seattle-Portland match, and happy to see KC Cauldron play. It's been a minute since I've seen them play, so looking forward to both of these.
Oh, absolutely. And these 2 are big-time banger matchups, both with significant playoff implications. And we will be going into that in a bit when we when we go over the league table. But Corn Dog, tell me which of these matches you're looking forward to the most, and tell me your immediate thoughts on both of these matchups.
I mean, I've got to be most excited about the home team, ECRC in the standings, up at the top for the time being, for a brief minute at least. They've had the spark, they've had the passion. You can't count out Rydog on the Timbers Army side. Timbers Army definitely a force to be reckoned with. Looking forward to that game the most. However, KC Cauldron needs a good setup here. I'm going to go ahead and say KC Cauldron's going to beat Black Army, but they need to do it convincingly to keep their spot at the top.
Oh, absolutely. We will be revisiting those predictions in a bit. But when it comes to Timbers Army versus Emerald City RC, we have a team that is just getting it to form at the right time in Timbers Army, facing off an Emerald City RC team that is probably looking like the strongest team in SGL at the moment. In all honesty, for me, Rydog, when I look at that matchup, I'm thinking, I don't know if Timbers Army has a way in to win. But do you think they can get 1 or 2 games on Emerald City RC here?
Oh, absolutely. Timbers Army's never one to be counted out. Specifically, Rydog, you know, he's the homie. He's the bro. He tends to do a lot of good work for Timbers Army, but it's going to be, are they going to bring their A game this week? And is Emerald City going to bring back that teamwork that we saw last week? It was a lot of 1-2-3s, a lot of 1-2-1s, and the passing was on point. Smashley somehow coming away with an MVP in each game. What? There's something wrong going on there.
I don't know if you may say something wrong if you're neutral, but if you're, Emerald City RC, or if you're an ECS member, seeing someone like Smashley go in and get the MVP must be good news, because this Emerald City RC team is looking unstoppable right now. And I think now is probably a good time to go check out the league table and see what the importance is for each of these matches. So guys, as you can see right here, El Matador briefly is at the top of the table for now. We'll see if Emerald City RC can usurp them. But they got there courtesy of beating the Rebellion last night. They not only beat them though, they swept them off in convincing fashion. And now El Matador are sitting atop with 23 points. And in all honesty, you can most likely expect them to make the playoffs as well, because no team is going to get like 3 wins in a row given their respective schedules, and we could probably cover that down the line. Then you have Emerald City RC in second place. Cordog, they're sitting pretty right now. Only 1 loss so far this season. They, along with the locals, are the only teams with 1 loss, and I struggle to see if them getting a second loss, depending on how their season goes here. But surely you would expect them to be back at the top of the table after tonight, right?
Yes, but I wouldn't be surprised if Timbers Army don't give them a run for their money. They're currently sitting in 6th. They are in contention. And, I wouldn't be surprised to see Timbers Army win, in all fairness here. So it's definitely an important game for Timbers Army. It's not so critical for Emerald City here, but I'm hoping we see a good match either way. Right now, I'm looking at Emerald City taking this 3-0. But again, wouldn't be surprised if Timbers Army was able to pull something out. They're very familiar with the way ECRC plays.
Oh, big time. And with Rydog, Nelly, and Piglet coming into form at a good time. Piglet getting a whole lot of goals. I think he was involved in every goal, if I'm not mistaken. No, not every goal, but he was involved in a good number of goals yesterday against Steel Army. Timbers Army can give a test to Emerald City RC here. Whether that's enough to win remains to be seen. But for them, they need all the points they can get. So even 1 point matters, especially because KC Cauldron is going to face Black Army. KC Cauldron needs to win to get back into the playoff race, especially, given the 3-point gap. So for them, they have to beat Black Army. With that said, Black Army's kind of struggling recently as well. So you'd think for them too, like they cannot afford to lose here, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a critical situation for both people in both teams in the second matchup here. Black Army up nicely in the leaderboard there. KC Cauldron uncharacteristically down. However, Black Army, like you said, struggling a little bit, but still up there. If they can find a way to fend this off and at least get a couple of games, and by all miracles, if they can find a way to put down KC Cauldron, that will cement them in those top spots, and that would be huge for them. I bet Timbers Army's rooting really hard against Black Army at the moment, but hey, what do I know?
Hey, listen, no matter what, these matches are going to be close. Black Army, despite their struggles, are still a good team. KC Cauldron's just bouncing back, just getting into form, but we don't know who they're going to field. It all honestly depends on who these two teams field. We're just about ready to go for kickoff, folks. Just bear with us for a minute or two more. Before we get into that, I do want to show off my predictions real quick for the upcoming matches. So let's dive into that real quick right now. So, yesterday, El Matador played the Rebellion, and they swept them off 3-0. So I got the winner right there for the El Matador Rebellion match, but I didn't get the scoreline correct. That's fine. As for KC Cauldron versus Black Army, I see KC Cauldron beating Black Army 3-1 just because they have significantly improved with Cheeky Prophet back in and Serrano playing more often. Black Army, they just look like they've lost their way a bit. They need to get back into the groove, and I don't know if KC Cauldron's a good opponent for them. And then Emerald City RC versus Timbers Army. I see a 3-1 win for Emerald City RC. I think Timbers Army have enough to get one game, but probably not the whole match. So
yeah, especially early. Emerald City's sort of that freight train. They take that first game to get moving.
Yeah, big time. And if I'm Timbers Army, I want to get that game 1 win, no matter what. Get the game 1 win, and I feel like you're playing with house money at that point.
Solid agree with that statement.
All right, folks, we are just about ready to go. We just need to make the lobby real soon. But put your predictions into the chat. Vote with your channel points. And also, do not forget to put your predictions in for the rest of the matches in this regular season via the Google Sheets link that I provided to you all via Discord. I can share it in the chat as well if you guys want to get involved in that. But we are just about ready to go. And we will be starting off with Timbers Army versus Emerald City RC very, very soon. Core Dog, your final thoughts.
I'm definitely going to go with this is going to be an entertaining doubleheader here, no matter what the outcome is. And I'm looking forward to seeing Timbers Army come out strong. And I'm looking forward to that Black Army KC Cauldron matchup. It's going to be a good one. It should be back and forth.
Oh, big time. It's going to be fun matches either way. Timbers Army need to win game 1. They need to start off strong. Emerald City RC, well, you don't need to say much else. You just got to do what they've been doing. You know, if both teams have full strength lineups, I see Emerald City RC winning this whole match. But if Timbers Army can get game 1, they'll be set.
Should be a good one.
So just bear with us for a couple of minutes whilst both teams are still coming in. Oh, I just want to say this as well, guys.
Go.
Sorry. Go ahead.
You're good.
Okay.
Timbers Army's ready to go. They're here.
Oh, yeah. One thing I do want to say is with Bacchusmod still not being updated, there was a recent game update, just as a heads up, but Bacchusmod is not yet updated. That means we cannot show our overlay, unfortunately, so we have to go with the default Rocket League overlay for this matchup. Sucks, but until Bacchusmod gets updated, you're going to have to accept the default overlay for now, folks. Alright, both teams, I believe, are in. We should be good to go now. Both teams are going in right now, folks. Let us go right in to the gameplay. The usual trio for both teams. Rhydog, Nelly, and Piglet for Timbers Army. Gojo, Smashly, and Toad Death for Emerald City RC. It is Toad Death versus Piglet for the kickoff. The Masamune versus the Octane. Here we go. Timbers Army versus Emerald City RC.
Yeah, it's good to see Spanky joining in the sub role for Emerald City. He's a good coach, if nothing else. He's definitely a damn good player. But it's good to have him in there spectating live and giving updates. Spanky, a very friendly person, very, very informative player. Good to have him on the sidelines. Good start here from both teams.
Oh, nice slow play from Rhydog. And no resistance right there. Core Dog, what was that?
I'm not sure. Gojo thought maybe somebody was behind him, but Nelly with a key block shuts it down. Rhydog able to just walk that in like it's Sunday morning.
Yeah, it looked like Gojo was the last man back, and he was in a tough 2v1 situation. Nelly right there to deal with him. Gojo, well, you're in a tough spot. It would have been a miracle if he could have gotten away with that, but a great start for Timbers Army. No surprises right there, I guess, given how fast they started against Steel Army as well yesterday.
Yeah, and that's got to be exactly what you're looking for if you're Timbers Army. You want that first-minute goal in Game 1, take the pressure off, relax the boys.
So far, the Emerald City RC had a good chance right there, but Gojo was not able to get his shot off. Rhydog slow play, dribbling it to the left side, winning the 50 against Gojo, but Toad Death is there to follow up and help out. And Gojo bumps Piglet for his troubles. Can he get to that pass? No, he cannot. He was rotating back to get some of the boost. And Core Dog, this has been a good start for Timbers Army so far, but never count out Emerald City RC.
Oh, yeah, and if you were to call this game the whole series from what you've just seen in the first minute and a half, you would think there's no chance Timbers Army is going to lose, and Nelly puts them up 2!
Huge goal by Nelly right there. Right off with an insane flick over Gojo. Smashly with little to no boost. Unable to clear that off strongly. And Nelly is right there to put it in the back of the net. 2-0 for Timbers Army.
Real fluid team play here from Timbers Army. Real good positioning, placement. Everything's working out in their favor. And we're seeing ECRC scramble. And, you know, in my book, it's got to be that freight train of ECRC. Their game one is typically weak. And if you can take advantage of that, get them frustrated, you can keep them on the back foot as Rydog shuts down Toad.
And they are on the back foot right now. Timbers Army need to get some boost to get out. ECRC have the midfield control at this point. And Gojo is going to be the key right here, dribbling it towards the goal, but he gets challenged instantly by Rydog, who has had a terrific start in this game one.
Yeah, good clear out from Paigile there, keeping that ball moving the other direction. ECRC looks like they're warming up, and no! Rydog again!
This is insane, isn't it? I mean, you talked about ECRC having a slow start, but being 3-0 down before the end of the first half, that is insane. Absolutely
It's a little bit more than a slow start.
Well, no matter what. Go ahead.
No response from ECRC.
Oh, yeah, big time. No matter what, this is a terrific start for Timbers Army. It doesn't matter how good or bad ECRC may be. Being 3-0 up at this stage is good. Getting that game one win is going to be huge for them. And they have been looking the best they have the whole season. Seems like that last win against Steel Army really rejuvenated them. Now they're looking so confident. You're thinking, wait, this isn't the Timbers Army we've been seeing in the past few weeks. This is a brand new team altogether.
Ooh, yeah, we're definitely seeing full team involvement here from Timbers Army. It's critical that all three players are a part of it as Toad Death grabs one back.
And you talked about all three players being a part of it. They've had everyone involved defensively, but it wasn't enough to keep that ball out of the back of the net. Toad Death being in the right place at the right time with a timely shot. 2 minutes to go, 2 minutes, 1 second to go rather, and it's only a 2-goal deficit. We've seen ECRC come back from these positions.
Yeah, absolutely, and getting that goal back with still 2 minutes on the clock. Hey, being down 2 at halftime is business as usual, but it's Toad Death again, and here we go!
And now it is Timbers Army's turn to be slow and sluggish and being unable to get into the position. Big bump by Gojo on Rydog. And it meant that Toad Death had the time to get that shot into the back of the net. 3-2, 1 minute 53 to go. Could we see a comeback already in game one?
2 goals from Toad, 2 assists from Gojo, and less than a minute. 6 shots from Toad Death, which is more than the entire Timbers Army team. Let's see how this plays out. I would try to hold on if I'm Timbers Army. This game one win is going to be critical.
I'm checking the chat right now. Debit asking, is Timbers Army back for real this time? Looks like it, but they didn't let the 3-goal lead slip. I mean, they're still a 1-goal deficit, but they have kind of been struggling recently. Then the Sergeant Patrol, aka Dr. Aquatic, saying, I think Timbers have aimbot. Well, truth be told, we've seen these recent defensive actions, and no, they're human. No bots right there. And with 1 minute to go, folks, still a 1-goal lead for Timbers Army, courtesy of their 3-goal first half run. Rydog trying to see if he can get a fourth. Timbers Army are now dropping back and recovering. This gives Emerald City RC time to build up an attack. Can they do something right here? Can they create a shot? Yes, they can. Off of the corner, Smashly almost getting one in right there with a terrific shot attempt. Big 50 by Toad Death. This is dangerous for Timbers Army. Emerald City RC are now starting to take control. They're starting to steal the boost. Those bumps and demos are going to help. But it's not enough as the ball is back in the other end. Corn Dog, this is setting up for an enticing, tough finish.
Yeah, Maz, it's absolutely getting crazy here. The physical play coming out on both sides, really trying to open it up. I think both teams are trying to prove something here in the final few seconds.
The clock ticks down. The ball is in the desired end for Timbers Army, but Gojo with zero boost, coming back up with it. Big win by Rydog, and that's a big win for Timbers Army. Game one goes to them.
I have to acknowledge the physical play coming out of Rydog there, especially towards the end of the game. Absolutely interesting. Nelly asking if he smells good or something as he feels he was targeted with those demos. Hey man, wrong place, wrong time. You were trying to set yourself up for the big ball. You're going to get the big hits. And as the replays are playing in the background here, remembering that first goal where Nelly blocked out Rydog to walk that first goal in. That was absolutely incredible. And I'm assuming Nelly's tabbed out with that 140 ping right now. But 9 shots for Emerald City, 7 shots for Timbers Army. After Emerald City got those 2 goals, Timbers Army brought it back. They got 3 more shots in the last 2 minutes there. Gojo on the board, Toad Death on the board. Smashley was there also. But Emerald City fighting back, not able to quite get there. And that's going to be an interesting thing to see what changes in Game 2.
And one big point from the Sergeant Patrol in the chat. Timbers Army played like they didn't respect ECRC. If you respect them, they are going to make you pay. I totally agree. But with that said, ECRC can still come back. They are a good quality team. So we shall see if they can respond here in Game 2. The other part I liked from that Game 1 was Timbers Army played very much like a team. They played like ECRC plays typically, which is kind of surprising, you know. ECRC getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine right there, especially with the bumps as well. And a big demo from Nelly to kickstart Game 2. The ball's already in the other end, but now ECRC's kind of have control, except these bumps and demos are going to make it tough for them, Core Dog.
The physical play was immediately noticed by me to be an important contributing factor here. It is not hard to throw off ECRC's 1-2-3 play if you delete 2. If you delete 3, you can't have a 1-2-3 play. So keeping that physical pressure forward is gonna be, I think, a critical moment for them here. Not saying that's all they're doing, because they're definitely connecting well as a team. I feel like there's really good communication here.
I absolutely agree. And so far, it's Timbers Army that looks the more cohesive side in this Game 2 as well. Good rotation so far amongst the 3. The decent pass attempt by Nelly, but he's not able to get it out. Gojo now plays out to the midfield, and it's Nelly who gets it back, cutting for the ball. That's not the first time we've seen that as well, Core Dog. Nelly's been cutting and getting to the ball first quite a bit, and I feel like that's helped Timbers Army as they've been able to keep that intensity up.
Yeah, absolutely agree. It's that full team connection. They all know where each other's going to be. They're all trying to play their part, so to speak, while dealing with the crazy attack of ECRC. They've been able to handle it. There hasn't been a lot of defensive pressure, especially in this first minute 30 in Game 2.
And this is all despite whatever ECRC's trying to throw at them. You saw that big bump attempt by Toad, putting himself high up in the air to get Piglet out of control, but he wasn't able to phase Piglet at all. Piglet kept his composure and was able to clear it out. It seems like nothing can really throw off Timbers Army right now. But a goal can change things, folks. And right now, ECRC are looking better going forward. That bump and demo helps out Rydog. Nelly, though, is able to see it off. But Smash UFC sets up Gojo. Toad Death coming in as well. Okay, interesting. I think they will try to go for a pitch, but it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Timbers Army forcing ECRC to respond with the physical play, like you saw a second ago with Gojo. What a ball, just wide of the net. Good clear out from Toad, dangerous across the net, but good nonetheless. Nobody there to put it in. But yeah, the physical play, it has to be responded to. You either got to get better at dodging or you got to start demoing yourself. Dangerous ball, and it's in. There it is.
What an insane sequence, by the way. Smashley FC putting a bad touch, setting up Timbers Army. Gojo intervening, but he couldn't do enough to see the ball away from the goal. And Piglet steps up to get the first goal in this Game 2.
Huge from Timbers Army there to get that first goal just at halftime here. Incredible. They walked them back. They fought it forward, they kept the pressure on, and then the demo opened it up after a bad touch. Well done from Timbers Army.
One thing I want to highlight from the chat, the Sergeant Patrol, once again saying, I'm calling for ECRC to play on the counterattack to drag out TA into an overcommit. They've absolutely done that here, Aquatic, but the difference is you've seen Timbers Army kind of go back into the midfield and wait for that first touch from Emerald City RC. They have punished Emerald City RC on multiple occasions on that front. And not even the bumps and demos are phasing them right now. They're looking really good so far. Deserving of their 1-goal lead as well. Toad Death trying a solo play, but to no avail. Nothing is breaking this Timbers Army team right now.
Yeah, solid team play, and I think the physical aggression is keeping ECRC off of their typical pace, off of their typical rotation, and that's what we've been seeing here. Look at that. Rydog keeps that one in. Toad tries to knock it out. Guess what? Nellie's there, and we're playing a little bit of ping pong. ECRC likes that counterattack strategy where they get the ball, walk it down 1, 2, 3. That's not happening because there's a forward guy going for demo. There's somebody challenging the 50, and it's just Timbers Army looking comfortable right now.
And it's ECRC that gets 1 or 2 touches of the ball, and they just cannot keep any possession. There have been a few instances where they've tried to dribble it out, but to no avail because after the first challenge, they don't have a second guy who's able to follow up. And now, big demo attempt by Toad, and it pays off for ECRC as Smashley gets the goal and the equalizer.
Nice ball out there from Nelly, and without Toad Death's murder, that ball is stopped very easily. So Nelly, unfortunately, will not get the fruits of his labors there. And Emerald City putting that physical play right back on him.
And all they need is a goal to get back into this. We can see Emerald City RC building up some momentum and getting back into this match as well. So far, Timbers Army are not looking too bad, but that goal was big for ECRC. Ghost Touch helping Toad Death right there. Dribbling it out. Another demo. Oh, Timbers Army are not careful. They are going to get punished. They are going to be stranded. So far, they're able to hold on strong. Shot into the net. Big save by Gojo off of the crossbar. Nelly follows up. Not enough power to get it past Smashley, and Smashley clears it out. Gojo out to the other side. Rydog with a huge save. Can he get to the backboard? Can he clear this out? Yes, he can. And we are heading into overtime, Corn Dog.
Crazy last-second push there from ECRC, but it was 2 big saves from ECRC that kept him in it in the first place. Timbers Army is all over it as Smashley puts game 2 away.
And that is why you do not count out Emerald City RC. Look at that pass from Gojo right to the perfect spot. No one from Timbers Army pushing out to engage that pass. Both Nelly and Rydog were in the goal. And now Emerald City RC are back in it.
You know, I was playing with Smashley just before the stream started here, and he couldn't hit an open net from 2 feet away. Now he's hitting hot half-court cross passes that are hot, and he's putting them in the net. I don't know what woke him up, but I think going down a game might have had something to do with it as the series is tied 1-1. Wow, 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 wow. This is the kind of gameplay I was expecting.
Oh, it's only going to get spicier from this point on, Corn Dog. Both teams have looked really good. Emerald City RC saw this off and got the victory by the finest of margins. You mentioned the big double save before this. I mean, this game 3 could go either which way. It all depends on how each team responds to each other. Because besides Spanky being a sub for Emerald City RC, there's no other sub in place. So, I wouldn't be surprised if both teams stick to this 3 for the whole match.
Yeah, I definitely think Spanky's going to maybe sit back in the coach role. Maybe he had an influence between game 1 and 2, calling out the things that the players get too tunnel visioned on, which, hey, I love that strategy. And especially with Spanky, he's such an observant person. Big fan of Spanky. So wouldn't be surprised to see him happily sit back in the coach's chair, maybe offer up some kind, pleasant advice to the team, and we'll see how that affects game 3.
Whether it's in the lobby or via the stream, Spanky's input is going to be valuable, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, it's all about executing your game plan. It's all about putting it onto the field of play, making that count. So far, it is 1-1. It could go either way. This time, it's Emerald City RC who kick us off in game 3 with a good kickoff and getting some early pressure going. And right now, Timbers Army are kind of boost-starved. They're getting disrupted. Nelly getting faked. Rydog getting beaten. Toad Death needs help. He's all by himself. And the ball's not going to the other side. Gojo has enough to take this away.
Yeah, Matt, as you pointed out earlier, Timbers Army taking a game puts them playing with house money. Even if they don't win any of the remaining games, taking that sweep away, being the thorn in the side, gaining themselves some points, that's all they really needed to do here. They've already accomplished that. So I'd be surprised to see the big guns come out. Get the demos as Piglet goes for one.
Oh my goodness, that pre-jump attempt by Piglet. Oh, he could have had a shot on there if he was if he had enough boost to adjust. Now it's Emerald City RC's turn to go the other way after absorbing a good bit of pressure from Timbers Army. But they just cannot get enough touches to create an attack. It's going like game 2 so far, where they have a few touches and then Timbers Army take control. Much better there from Smashy getting that 50. Toe Death is waiting, and his patience pays off. Toe Death trying to pinch it off the backboard to no avail. Smashy needs to see this, see if he can get some control. Rhydog, though, is not giving him any time.
Yeah, and we addressed it earlier. The overlay is tied to Bacchus Mod. Bacchus Mod is out of date because there was an update today.
Oh.
So there will not be an overlay.
Sorry about that. Yeah, that was a habit of mine. I always just press the button twice to make it all invisible. But yeah, nothing has changed. Still 0-0.
Oh, they wanted just the HUD back on. Got it.
Yeah.
Because you're used to the overlay. Understood. As Gojo puts ECRC up 1 with a great play from Smashley here. Kicking that through. Rhydog just missed it. Rhydog has been the enforcer on Timbers Army today. He's been everywhere. Bumps, goals, aerial touches. He's been all over it. He can't do it all, though. And, not that Nelly and Piglet are doing anything wrong. Just that Rhydog's trying to do everything right now, and it's kind of showing through a little bit. 3 minutes to go here in Game 3. Series is tied 1-1.
Yeah, that's the perfect start for Emerald City RC right there. Interesting bit of defending from Rhydog as he kind of hesitated, didn't really challenge anyone. But now you're starting to see Emerald City RC get into the groove. They're starting to get some more bumps and demos. They're starting to boost steel. They're starting to keep that pressure up, and they're starting to take control, Core Dog.
Absolutely taking control. It's looking like Game 1, but in ECRC's favor here. Game 1, Timbers Army was everywhere. They were demoing. They were getting the passes, getting the shots. And now it looks like ECRC's in control, and Timbers Army's trying to find the escape route.
Oh,
Big
this is
ball
looking
across
dangerous, and Nelly had to intervene to clear. Now Gojo has a chance to get a double tap. Can he get a third? He gets the flip reset, but a huge intervention there by Rhydog. Keeps that ball out of the back of the Timbers Army net, and now he gets a second touch to clear it out.
Yeah, and we're just seeing ECRC's in the position to shut down Timbers Army's play before they start. Also, ECRC going for the physical play, which is what Timbers Army were pioneering here in this series. So it's going to be interesting to see, can Timbers Army get the weight back under them?
Bit of a risky play right there. Nelly tried to go and clear that off the backboard, but he missed the ball. And Timbers Army are kind of struggling, although this might change things. Off of the crossbar. Oh my goodness. They needed a score right there. Oh, that sucks.
Still a minute to go, and you only need 1. That's what's important here. Big fan of the physical play so far in this series. I'm all for it.
It's not just the physical play, though. Look at the boost stealing, the boost management from Emerald City RC right here. They have been above 50 boosts for much of this match. You've barely seen them, have to go back and get the big pads. It is Timbers Army who've had to sit back, and they've been getting boost star for the most part. They need some help, but that help is not going to come from any outside force. They need to get themselves back into it. They need to get more aggressive. They need to start getting some small pads to get the boost back up, too. And they probably need a lucky break to get the goal, which they almost had right there. Oh, man, what a close call.
Toe Death barely survived on the skin of his teeth on that one as Rhydog misses wide. Nelly misses wide. This is the opportunity, boys.
Big fake as well from Nelly, but Piglet was not able to get the touch. The ball is still not out of the ECRC end. Big pass to Piglet, but blocked. Nelly shot on goal, but it's off target. Piglet tried to get back into it. 1 second left. ECRC put the ball down. And Timbers Army need to keep it up.
Toad with a bump keeps Rhydog out of the play, and that's going to do it.
There it is. There's the ECRC we have been talking about, folks. Huge, huge Game 3 win right there. And I hate to say it, but it's looking like ECRC all the way now because they have the momentum on their side.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can feel the shift in momentum here. I would not be surprised if Timbers Army get their footing back under them here and take this on to game 5. Right now, Emerald City leading 2-1. Timbers Army taking that game 1. Get back to basics. Get those bumps in there. Get those demos in there. Trust your third man back and play the aggression that was working for you before. But that freight train of ECRC feels to be up to speed right now. So we're going to have to wait and see.
I think the most important thing for Timbers Army here is they can no longer afford to just go back and absorb the pressure. They are getting pinned now. They need to get out and engage. They need to get out and start to boost steal, because at this moment in time, any bit of hesitation is going to put them into a really bad spot. We will see how they respond in game 4 once we get into the Utopia Coliseum very shortly.
Yeah, and even that game, it was only a 1-goal game. Timbers Army had 8 shots. Emerald City with only 6. So it goes to show quality over quantity sometimes a thing, but Timbers Army weren't stuck to the backfield permanently. They weren't held out of that game. They just weren't able to complete the transaction. And here we go for could be the final game. It's do or die for Timbers Army.
And once again, a great kickoff for Emerald City RC. Big save by Piglet off of Smashly, who's still hanging back there. Toad Death off the backboard. Gojo coming up. Really good tight rotations right there from Emerald City RC. Really good aggression. Timbers Army are still playing as if this is game 3. They need to get out. They need to clear this ball out so they can get some boost going.
Yeah, Emerald City definitely in control here in the first 30 seconds, and definitely Timbers Army defending and on the back foot. We're going to have to see who can make the shift. Nice ball out. It's all the way down. Smashly gives up. That ball is in. 1-0 Timbers. Let's go.
We talked about Timbers Army needing help in game 3. It looks like they have got a bit of help in game 4. A very lucky pitch off of the opposite corner into the back of the net. Timbers Army lead 1-0, and given the pressure they were dealing with, that is the perfect start for them.
I mean, you can call it a lucky pinch. You can call it whatever you want, but there was no defense for it. And right now, having the lead, being in front is going to be most important. I think it's going to take that pressure off of the Timbers, let them do what they want to do and not what they have to do. And we're going to see how that plays out here coming up.
Right on, going for a big challenge, using up all his boost there to help out his teammate. I think that was enough to throw Emerald City RC off their rhythm and allow the team to start to push up and see if they can take control of this midfield. Big miss, though, from Piglet. A lucky deflection off of Rhydog. Oh, he big missed. A lot of whips. Gordog. How is that not resulted in a goal?
That is incredible. Oh my God, Smashly tied it up out of nowhere. Negated the whole conversation. Good ball in from Gojo there. Floats across. Gojo with the fake challenge. Rhydog connects with Piglet and leaves the right side of the net open. Oh my, what a cluster.
Yeah, Nelly needed to clear that off with a big, strong hit, but he was not able to get that much power off of that backboard. And now Emerald City RC back in control. Woo! Strong shot. And a good save right there from Nelly. Demo for his trouble, though. Rhydog's able to engage in the midfield. The Smash wins that challenge. Uses all of his boost to get up there. Let's see if Emerald City RC can keep this up. Nice fake there by Piglet. He brings it out to the midfield. Rhydog is coming up. Piglet's also up in the air. Piglet does have enough boost to get back, and he needs it to save this shot, which he does. And Emerald City RC are growing into this. And, you know, one thing I want to highlight, the Sergeant Patrol did say that this is likely to be a 2-goal win in Game 4. He doesn't see this go to a Game 5. I see the Emerald City RC winning this Game 4 as well, based on my original prediction. But Timbers Army are making them work. And Toad Death makes it happen. Cleans up the mess. Great work by Smashly to really put this Timbers Army team on the back foot. And now Toad Death finishes it off. 2-1 to Timbers Army. Emerald City RC.
A beautiful save from Piglet. Right place, right time. But the Toad Death open net goal brought to you by Carl's Jr. I tell you what, man, there's no stopping that.
Not at all. If you could get that powerful a hit, even if you have someone rushing back, they need to be in the right position to get that save anyways. ECRC looking confident. They look composed. They look like they're in control of this whole game. The demos are throwing off Timbers Army's rhythm right now. Let's see if Rhydog and Nelly can combine right here. They cannot. Piglet doesn't have much boost. He gets it off the corner. Can he bring this out and take matters into his own hands? Not with Toad Death interfering the way he has been. And this Emerald City RC team is back at the top. They're back at their best. And I don't see how Timbers Army can respond to this.
They need to just get together. You know, at this point, you're down by 1. There's a minute and 43. I'd rather lose by 2 goals than lose by 1. Pull that goalie. Get the aggression going forward, and that ball's just off the post for Piglet. Man, that was a close one.
Big flick as well by Toad. Big challenge into the middle. Smashly cannot get a shot on target, though. Less than 90 seconds to go. Timbers Army, they're holding on. But how long can they hold on for? And can they get a good chance created here as well?
Yeah, defensive moments brought to you by Raid Shadow Legends here from Timbers Army, but you need offense as well.
That offense is struggling to form at this moment, as anytime they get out to the midfield, they get engaged and challenged at. Even a whip like this is not going to make a difference as Gojo comes in and keeps the pressure up. And that's what makes Emerald City RC so difficult to play again. But now Timbers Army have a chance. Piglet off to the other end. Smashing with a big touch off. Gojo with a big win. Nelly with a shot off target, but not enough power anyways, as Toad Death is able to save this and take this away.
Yeah, it's a dangerous spot to be in for ECRC, but only briefly, as they're cycling very nicely. They all are where they all need to be. And that's just how it's going right now, man. It's ECRC flowing.
And right now we have 15 seconds to go. The ball is in the Timbers Army end. They need to take it to the other side. Gojo to Toad. Big intervention by Piglet. Nelly keeps it up, but they need to bring it forward. Rhydog brings it forward towards the opposite backboard. One more chance for Timbers Army. Can they make it? Can they keep this ball up? Piglet keeps it up. Gojo is coming up. He brings it back to the other end. The bounce is favorable for Timbers Army. This game is still going, folks.
Oh, man. What an ending there. Holy cow.
And there it is. Game, set, and match after the convincing Game 1 win by Timbers Army. Emerald City RC has won the rest of these matches by 1 goal. And man, all of these games have been really, really close as well, Core Dog. Just nail-biting affairs all around.
Yeah, and Timbers Army never looked counted out. Definitely Emerald City looked in control, but like you mentioned, Maz, it's only been 1 goal for all 3 Emerald City victories there. And, you know, how many side net post garbage did Timbers Army have where they had the chance to put themselves back in it and just weren't able to complete? I also saw the physical play for Timbers Army drop off severely. So, you know, maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe ECRC just got that train running and we're stopping them from doing it. Either way, great game, great set of matches there. Timbers Army definitely head held high on that one. You won the first game. You took that sweet point away. You got a point for yourself. You earned it. And I'm looking forward to see Timbers Army playing in the future here.
Yeah, at the end of the day, getting that Game 1 off of Emerald City RC might count big time for them. So they shouldn't be too disheartened by this loss. With that said, folks, we are not going to waste any more time. We're going to jump into Black Army versus KC Cauldron very soon. Both teams should be ready to go, and we should be able to get started once they come in. And Cordog, I'll make sure you come in as well before we get that match started.
Gotcha.
Well, my prediction for a 3-1 win for Emerald City RC was correct. I think Dr. Aquatic in the Twitch chat also said 3-1, so he was, I think, also correct. And honestly, not really much of a surprise. I think this was bound to happen. But all that mattered was how close it was going to be. And oh boy, was it close. It was a very close match, folks.
Yeah, and it is prediction time. Oh wait, maybe not right this second. It is gonna be prediction time soon, so get ready with your Twitch channel points to bet who's gonna win. Black Army higher in the standings versus the returning champions of KC Cauldron lower in the standings. It's gonna be interesting.
Sorry, give me 1 sec, folks. I'm still setting things up, so I'm still making sure both teams are able to come in and be good to go. So if I'm silent, that is why. But at this moment, Core Dog, you want to give us your thoughts on Black Army versus KC Cauldron? How do you see that going? I think you predicted a KC Cauldron win, right?
I'm gonna stick with my KC Cauldron win. They're definitely looking a little rougher this season than they have in the past. And Black Army's been looking really good. It could be either way, but if I gotta throw $1 in a hat, I'm gonna throw my dollar in the KC Cauldron hat. They're a very strong team. They do have new members, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't matter. Either way, I would like to see KC Cauldron fight through this one and take that W, get themselves back in the mix in the standings. So, would not be surprised if there was a Black Army 3-0 sweep. Would not be surprised if there was a KC Cauldron 3-0 sweep. But that's what we're here for, to see what happens, see what these teams are, who's going to bring their A game. And just to go back real quick, man, Timbers Army started off so good. They looked unbeatable. If you just played game one for somebody that didn't know these teams, you'd think ECRC doesn't have a chance. And then the 1-goal wins by ECRC 3 games in a row. They got that momentum going. Well played from them. So I'm excited to see who is going to do the thing as we get underway here in game one.
Here we go, folks. Black Army versus KC Cauldron. Game 1, and it's a big, strong start for Black Army. Eric, formerly known as Y2K Eric, coming in and getting the first goal off of a huge dunk there on Captain Yap.
And that's what we like to see. 11 seconds in game one, and it's already a 1-0 lead for Black Army here. Well played from Eric Saunders, who's a name I'm not familiar with. So well played there to get that early start.
So in terms of the lineups, folks, Black Army are fielding Vexamed, Kilasapo, aka Isador, and Eric Saunders, aka Y2K Eric. And KC Cauldron have a trio of Yep, Thorngold, and Bunch. And honestly, looking at these lineups on paper, I'd say that KC Cauldron team is beatable, but it's all dependent on whether Black Army can play at their best. Can they bring out their A game like they have here so far? Can they get the goals to secure these victories instead of struggling to score? Can they keep their composure when the going gets tough?
Yeah, Thorngold, Yef, and Funch looking to put a stamp on the board here, trying to take possession, which I'd like to see. We're not playing tennis here, we're playing Rocket League, people. Try to keep that possession, find a teammate, and hit him.
Nice fake attempt right there, but Eric's not able to capitalize. Bex fakes as well, and Kilasapo takes it away to the left side. Dribbles, controls, beats one, and yep, cannot beat Thorngold, but that ball's in the midfield. It's a really good start by Black Army so far, although a nice second touch by Thorngold to get that pressure going and to pin Black Army back, although they're just not coming up and engaging early enough to really force them on the back foot. Oh, what a shot attempt by Vexamed.
And we're seeing a lot of offensive aggression from both teams here. It's only netted us 1 goal in the first 2 minutes here at game 1, but everybody's going for everything, and that's going to make a high caliber, high octane Rocket League game. Let's see what happens here.
And so far, Black Army are looking like the better team. They're able to have a response to everything KC Cauldron is throwing at them so far, and they've been able to bring the ball forward very well. Able to create a few decent half chances. Oh my goodness, though! Yeah! With a huge dunk in response to what he had to deal with against Eric. Now he claps back at Eric with a huge, massive, big body Dominus dunk. 1-1. What a response.
Absolutely critical. Get that goal back early, take that pressure back off, and what a way to do it. Pass it to yourself and bully it into the net. Well played there from Yef. Let's see if they've got any more in the tank. Is this game going to settle down, or is it going to stay up in all offense?
Great chance right there for Black Army. A second chance. This ball is bouncing in front of the net. Still in front of the net. And Yef, oh, he's not able to keep it away, but Thorgold gets it out. Oh, they can breathe a sigh of relief now. Oh, that should have been 2-1 for Black Army. But man, what a sequence right there.
Oh, the chipper! And instead of 2-1 Black Army, it's 2-1 KC Cauldron. Yef chops it up. 3 people miss. Yef cleans it up himself and has 2 goals here in game 1. Wow, 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 wow.
Some will say that came out of nothing. Others will say KC Cauldron deserved it after they're able to come back. All I'll say is this. That's what makes KC Cauldron so good, because even when they get set back, they can respond, and that they have. But with 2 minutes to go, less than 2 minutes rather, Black Army still has time to come back into this, and they have been looking way better than they have in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, and a good setup here. Vexamed tries to receive it, not able to get there in time, but Killa's there, able to keep it back in.
Ooh.
Good stop from Fudge.
Vex tried to go for a cherry pick shot right there, but he just wasn't able to have enough boost to be able to get to that ball. Now Vex tried to bump with Thorgold, but Thorgold holds strong. Thorgold with a slow play. 50s Eric. Now Eric needs to get this out to the other end. Killasapo takes control, but he loses the ball. Yef clears it out to Vex. Vex has a chance to create a goal-scoring opportunity, but he's not able to do anything right there. Eric takes control.
1 minute to go here in game 1. It's anybody's game. KC Cauldron holding that lead, though, after going down 1 in the first minute. Now up by 1 as Vexamed floats that one all the way down. Thorgold's able to shut it down. Good defense there.
So far, KC Cauldron are holding on, but Timbers Army, sorry, not Timbers Army, Black Army can come back into this. Good pass out to Vex. Vex wins the 50. Thorgold, though, can clear it out to the opposite flank. What can Killasapo do? He gets beaten. Eric's in a rough spot. Eric plays it out to the left side, but Vex waits, and his patience pays off as the ball goes into the midfield with less than 30 seconds to go. Can Black Army get the equalizer? Big bump attempt there by Vex, but he's not able to get one off of Thorgold. And Thorgold tries to get it out, but Killasapo wins the ball off of him. Cordog, this is setting up for a very tense finish for KC Cauldron.
Yeah, and the pressure is coming in hard here for Black Army, but they're not able to connect the dots right now. They're putting the ball forward. Nobody's there to shoot it. They're clearing the defender. Nobody's there to shoot it. It's just awkward, and I think that's going to do it. Big clear out from Thorgold.
Ball still
Good
up,
pitch.
though. Can Vex make it?
And,
No, he cannot. Cordog, game 1 goes to KC Cauldron.
And hey, what a great game 1. High energy, high octane, all offense on this game here. And it's going to be interesting to see what adjustments are made. I did it too. Black Army definitely looked good there. They started out with that early goal. And is it a matter of KC Cauldron has them figured out, or is it a matter of both teams aren't warmed up? We're going to have to see, but it looks like we might have a substitution here.
Yeah, and I think a substitution might be a good idea. We'll see who comes in for Black Army in a bit. But for KC Cauldron, you know, with a lineup like Yef, Thorgold, and Fudge, this has been a really good start, especially after how potent Black Army looked going forward. But never count out KC Cauldron, folks. Despite their early struggles, they were able to bounce back, kicking off with a big body dunk by Yef, then getting a big second goal off the counterattack after an insane goal sequence where the ball hit the crossbar on a couple of occasions and just didn't want to go into the back of that KC Cauldron net.
Yeah, and it's you know, a game of inches, it's a game of miles, and right now it's a game of inches, and I'm excited to see what the changes are going to be for game 2, not just staff changes here as Martez does join in.
Yeah,
with Vexamed and Eric for Black Army, but the gameplay style changes. Are we going to see physical play like we saw with ECRC and Timbers Army? Are we going to see all offense like we saw in game 1 here? We're about to find out.
it's so far good start by Black Army yet again off the kickoff, but Thorgold clears it out to the other end. Yep, going for a follow-up. Vexamed clears it off. And think for Black Army, all they need to do is keep that defensive composure, because when they don't panic, when they keep that composure, they're able to see this off. It's all mental for them. They look way better than they did offensively. So it's all about whether they can keep their cool and they stick to their game plan. I think they'll be fine here. But never count on KC Cauldron, because they have been looking so strong in recent days and in recent weeks as well. But they're on the back foot right now as Thorgold dribbles it out to the other side. Passes it to Yep, rather. His shot goes off the backboard. Now Vexman clears it off. Both teams now have enough boost. Can Vexman get the goal? Yes, he can. 1-0 to Black Army, just like in Game 1.
And another hot start here for Black Army. A little miscommunication on the wall there. Maybe a little lack of trust. But all three players of KC Cauldron up in the air, and the ball goes in the back of the net. Vexamed well played there to get that one in. But we saw this in Game 1. They scored in the first minute and then got scored on twice throughout the rest of the game. Can they hold this lead as Eric starts it off nice for them into the offensive zone?
Ball's going to the other end, though. And big shot there by, I believe that was Fudge. Yes, that was Fudge, but Martez is there to intervene. Free jump by Eric off of a Martez ceiling pass attempt. Nothing to it, though. But that kind of creativity is what makes Black Army so good, and what they should go back to. Big pass there from Martez to Eric. Martez trying to follow up after that shot off target. Wasn't able to get to it, though. And this is kind of going like it was in game number 1. Can Black Army get a second to put some more pressure on KC Cauldron to draw them out some more? Right now, it's not happening, but this is a good sequence of play for Black Army as they're able to rotate, keep up the pressure, keep that ball in the KC Cauldron half. But now Thorgold has a chance. Shot on net. Martez cuts in and intervenes. Fudge tries to get a shot on target to no avail. With 0 boost, cannot do much right there. Yep, now it's coming back in. And it looks like KC Cauldron is sitting back. Fudge, I'm not sure if that was a wise choice.
Oh, what a save!
Goal! With the potential save of the season.
Beautiful goal line save there to keep that one out. That was deadly. That would have been a game changer. Holy cow.
I didn't even catch a breath right there. That was an insane goal line save. I thought after that big 50, Martez, I believe that was Martez, was going to see it into the back of the net. Oh my god, what an insane save that was from Thorgold. Now, yep, at the other end, shot on target. Martez, much better defensively than Isador, a.k.a. Kilasapo, may have been. And that substitution's coming in timely. Big pass to Vexamed. Again, the shot goes off target. And, you know, Black Army's going to rule all these missed opportunities, Corn Dog. They need to get that second goal.
Yeah, and we're seeing KC Cauldron in defense mode here. They are not, I mean, they're getting a couple chances in offense, but it has been Black Army hammering the forward edge this whole time here. Oh, man, making big defensive stops, but not really returning the favor. 7 shots for Black Army, 4 for KC Cauldron.
Oh, big shot into the near post by Eric off the left wall. And that is the second goal they have been looking for so badly. Eric comes in off the left wall. Powerful shot, 72 kilometers per hour off of Alan's BangersOnly.com radar gun. And that is 2-0 to Black Army in Game 2.
Impressive game here from Black Army. It is Game 2. KC Cauldron holds the win for the first game, but with 1:30 to go, that could be all tied up here in just a few seconds.
With less than 90 seconds to go, we are now at the 75-second mark. Thorgold, can he get one back? He cannot. Martez once again coming up clutch defensively for Black Army. And even on the offense, he has been solid as a support player. That substitution's been huge for Black Army right here. Vexamed off the corner to Martez, and Martez gets the 3rd goal for Black Army at the goal that he deserves off of this Game 2 performance.
Beautiful ball in from Vexamed, fought back in order to set that up for Martez. Well done from Vexamed there to make that happen, but again, well done from Martez to put it in the back of the net. Martez has 5 shots and 4 saves. The only member of Black Army with a save so far.
That is insane, but it also shows how critical Martez has been in this game too. And he might need to stick around for game 3 and beyond, depending on how this goes. Third goal does not have the boost to get onto that. And this has been a completely different game 2 for KC Cauldron. They have been outpaced. They've been unable to penetrate that Black Army wall at the back. And for them, that game 1 is looking like a bigger win than we thought, because they have been struggling right here in this game 2.
Yeah, I'd like to see KC Cauldron wash their hands of this game, let these 10 seconds burn off the clock, and then get ready for game 3. You're playing a best of 3 0-0. Let it go, KC Cauldron. But yeah, Black Army absolutely fluid right now. Good passes, good teamwork. They all seem to know where each other are. Oh!
Ball is still up in the air. Can Cauldron get a consolation? But Vexamed comes in, keeps that ball at the Cauldron half. Third goal, can he do something right here? Keeps it up, but Eric is coming in, going off of the air, trying to get a second touch, cannot though. The third goal keeps us up. This game is not over yet, folks. We are going to be going on. Might see a goal, who knows, but the game is still continuing. Eric keeps it up on the other end now. This game's not going to finish at this point, is it? And it finally does. Eric has shown us some mercy. Martez gets the MVP for game 2, deservedly so, and Black Army is back in this match.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those extra time, keep the ball ups, especially when the game is not on the line. No chance KC Cauldron scoring 3-0, but, you know, I enjoyed the sportsmanship, keeping it up, trying to keep that ball going. Both teams want to score. It shows they're both having fun here, but a goal apiece for Black Army. 1-1 for Martez, Vexamed, and Eric Saunders, excuse me. 12 shots for Black Army to 5 shots for KC Cauldron. Yef with 4 saves, Martez with 4 saves. Beautiful work by both teams here, but Black Army firmly in control as we head into game 3, tied 1-1. Interesting to see how I'm interested to see how the gameplay style is going to shift up. Are KC Cauldron going to change something and try to reshift that momentum in their favor? Are Black Army going to stay with the same 3 players? We're about to find out shortly here as we all load in for game 3.
And another substitution right there as well, Cordog, as Killa Sapo comes back in, this time replacing Eric Saunders. So now Black Army are lining up with Martez, Vex, and Killa Sapo. Whereas the Cauldron have those subs, they're sticking with the same trio. Here we go, game 3, 1-1 in the matchup between Black Army and KC Cauldron.
And a good offensive start here for Black Army. Are they going to be able to keep this pressure up? Are they going to be able to keep KC Cauldron pinned to the back wall? It looks like it so far, 15 seconds in.
And once again, Black Army having a very good start. But this is a good pass from Fudge to third goal off the backboard. They don't have a third following up, and Vexamed clears it out to the right. But Fudge is able to bring it back to the other side. However, they have no one going up for a quick challenge, so KC Cauldron need to see this attack off if they want to stay in this match. So far, it's just Black Army looking very comfortable. Their rotations have been slick. They've been playing super fast. Their passing has been way crisper as well. This is the Black Army we were seeing in the early weeks of SGL. And I'm so glad to see them bounce back and look as good as ever.
Yeah, this whole first minute has been sponsored by Black Army, man. They are everywhere. They are all the time, and they are winning these 50s. They're keeping that ball forward, but good defense from KC has kept the scoreline 0-0 as the series is tied.
Right now, the ball is loose in the midfield. No one really going for it, and Yep elects to do something about it, but he's not able to do much at that instance. Black Army, once again, you know, they can sit back and wait. They can engage up really quickly. They have control of this matchup. Anytime one of their guys goes for a challenge and knocks the ball loose, they have someone coming in and engaging quickly. This time, Killa Sapo trying to make sure he can keep the Cauldron on the back foot. Now, Vexamed coming up for a quick challenge. Gets demoed for his trouble. Martez with 0 boost. Coming up and winning the ball quickly. Killa Sapo with like his 20 or so boost. Creating a chance right there. And unfortunately for Black Army, they weren't able to get the goal. Casey Cauldron hold on right now, much better defensively. But it's the same old story at this moment for both sides.
Oh no! Well done from Funch to hit that ball in there nicely from over half court, and an unfortunate backflip from Vexamed. The last man back is gonna put Casey Cauldron in the lead here. This could be the momentum they needed. Black Army looks ready to go. We'll have to wait and see.
That is such a tilting moment for Black Army. Vexamed was back there. He probably thought he had the control, and then he gets that second dodge in. I'm guessing that was an error. Oh, what an unfortunate way to concede, but that is a huge first goal for Casey Cauldron. And just like in game one, when they got their first goal, they were able to get the second, and they were able to grow in confidence. But right now, it's Black Army who's keeping the pressure up. Let's see if Casey Cauldron can hold on here.
Yeah, just past halftime here in
Oh.
game 3, and that ball's off the post. What a shot, and it's just wide. That would have been the equalizer.
And then Martez
Holy.
cuts in and intervenes and prevents Vexamed from getting on the ball. It's those little things that hold Black Army back. If they can clean that up, they'll be a much better team, and so far it's looking good. Kilosapo off the backboard, into the middle. Martez shot! Big save, though. And Casey Cauldron see this off for now, but the pressure is still going. Vex to Martez, no shot on target yet again. And now Yef takes it to the other end. Kilosapo with a nice pass to Vexamed with zero boost, clears it off. Let's see if he can get some boost back and get his team back into it.
Yeah, Casey Cauldron's looking more relaxed, but I'm still seeing Black Army win the majority of the 50-50s here. And since that's the case, it seems like they've been setting up for 50s more. Get a player out of the play, keep that ball moving forward as Vexamed hits it over the bar. Good block.
And it took both Yef and Thorngold to intervene. Thorngold gets counted with the save, but let us not discredit Yef. He was also in the right spot right there to hold back Black Army. Another shot attempt, again off the crossbar. But after huffing and puffing, they finally get the goal.
Absolute panic from Casey Cauldron as Funch goes flying past the ball. The second defender flying past the ball. You could have taken the time, you could have reset, but you can't take that chance. And the game is now tied 1-1. Black Army well fought.
And for the guys here rooting for their fellow Casey Cauldron supporters like Tad Apples and CU Bank, oh, this must be rough for them. That goal comes at a bad time. It's now Black Army that are gaining the momentum. Can Casey Cauldron get the game winner like they did in game 1? Or will it be Black Army's turn to come back from being down 1-0?
Beautiful save from Funch there. That was a tricky little shot. And then a nice clear ball back out to center after the 50. As Thorngold tries to take that one himself, but we're seeing a lot of miscommunications here from KC Cauldron. They're all trying to be the one that makes it happen. And they seem to be stepping on each other's toes a little bit as Yef almost sneaks that one past Martez.
Black Army see that off. Maybe in the past few weeks they might have struggled, but this time they've done much better defensively. They've been able to protect the back of their net. Now it's their turn to get a game winner. 1 second to go. Thorngold lofts it to the other side. Martez is up to clear this out to the left. Thorngold, though, has enough boost to follow up. Yef keeps it up, but he has 0 boost, just like Fudge. Martez now has 0 boost, brings it to the other end. Vexamed, that's all the boost he needs to keep this up. The ball is loose. Is there anyone who's going to attack it? Thorngold gets it away, and we are heading to overtime.
Yeah, smart play from KC there on Thorngold to clear that ball out downfield. You had the chance at the 0-second goal to win it, but you also had the chance to be scored on at 0. Smartly played downfield to end that as Black Army starts off hot here in overtime.
And once again, it's Casey Cauldron having to fall back after losing the kickoff, and now they need to sit back and see if they can bring the ball forward. But look at Black Army and how quickly they come up from the midfield. They're keeping this pressure going. Even if they're not creating chances, they're keeping the Cauldron on their toes. And oh my goodness, Martez with the game winner in overtime. Yep, coming up as the third man, but unable to win that ball. And Martez gets the key game 3 win for Black Army.
Awkward clear ball out. Yef was almost there, but it went straight to the Black Army player, Martez. and Martez able to hammer that ball from half court, scoring both of the goals for Black Army here on 4 shots and 9 shots to 5. Black Army on paper dominated that game, but KC Cauldron was never out until they were out, as that game went to overtime. So it'll be interesting to see, can KC Cauldron win 2 in a row, or will Black Army win 1 more and put this series to bed?
And Core Dog, just like the first matchup between Timbers Army and Emerald City RC, KC Cauldron won game 1, but Black Army have been coming back and winning these other games. This time having a very close game against KC Cauldron, winning this 2-1 in overtime. We will see how game 4 unfolds, but Black Army has the momentum on this side. They're looking as confident as they've ever been. They've been looking as good as they've ever been. This has been a really good performance so far from Black Army.
And Black Army has made a substitution every game here. So let's not count out their full team chemistry, able to work with what they've got. KC Cauldron took game 1, Black Army games 2 and 3. So we'll have to see, are they going to make another substitution here going into potentially the final game? They do have 1 to lose, but that last game, game 3 there, was a coin flip. It went to overtime. It was anyone's game. Black Army on top.
We're still waiting. Oh my goodness, this is
looks
very
like a lobby
unlucky.
reset.
We were waiting for a third from Black Army, but now we need to reset the lobby. Unfortunately, because the game decided, yeah, we're gonna start it off. Who cares? Even though no one's in the lobby, we're still gonna start it off. So folks, just bear with me for a sec. I'm just setting up the lobby once again so that both teams can get in for this game 4 in Utopia Coliseum.
And it does say we have 31 people watching the Twitch stream live, so it can't just be players and commentators. Appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this game. It's either going to be Black Army wins and it's over, or KC has to win back-to-back, or at least wants to take us to game 5. So, good start here. I'm excited.
Yeah, absolutely. We're still waiting for both teams to get in. And I believe both teams do have their 3. They're going in right now. No time to waste. Let's go. That's what we're talking about.
And it will be Vexamed, Eric Saunders, Martez for Black Army. KC Cauldron still not going with the substitute, if they even have one laying around. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on here.
Here we go. Game 4 has kicked off. Awkward kickoff moment from Martez, but they kind of get away with it. Can KC Cauldron get the early goal to get back into this matchup, or will Eric Saunders break them back, get them going, and get Black Army the win they need to get to keep themselves in the top 2 race?
Good start here from Black Army.
Go ahead, Core Dog.
That was it. Good start from Black Army.
No, that was a really sick pass right there from Martez to Vex. Vex again, getting all the things done right. He's getting the big challenges up. He's defending well, creating good passes, dribbling the ball well too. Just not able to get the shot on target, but I feel like that's the case with all of Black Army as well for much of this match. But when you keep up the pressure and create enough chances, you're very likely to get a couple of goals in, which they did in Game 3. You should be able to see off the whole match as well if this continues. For KC Cauldron, they just get pinned back so quickly, and they just sit in their goal. If they can rotate a bit more and start picking up some pads, that will help them. But again, that's easier said than done, because this Black Army team is relentless, and they've been keeping up the pressure. And with Eric stepping up big in this game, you know, these guys have looked better than ever. And it's like, where has this Black Army been all season, you know? Well, here they are. It's not like they were gone forever, but they now need to defend. Yev trying to get a second touch off the backboard. Thorgold now follows up. The ball rolls up into Vexamed's path, and now he clears it up to the midfield. Tries to beat Fudge. Fudge, though, intervenes. Martez out, off the backboard, gets a second judge.
Oh.
What a double tap. Sorry, that's not a double tap, but what a goal from Martez. Big, big goal for Black Army as they look to get their first win in a while.
And that was a big ball there and a nice sort of fake out from the player coming across the back goal line. Maybe made Casey Cauldron slow down and think. And then Martez cleans up his own mess, hammers that off the backboard. Nice. Well played, Black Army with an early lead here. 3 to go in what could be the final game if this result holds.
And it's those individual plays that help Black Army so much. They have the quality. They may not have been able to show it all the time, but when they clean up their overall game, that individual ability comes to the fore, and we're seeing Martez step up big time right here to go with Vexamed. Eric Saunders has been huge as well. Martez with the bump. Vexamed with the goal. 2-0 to Black Army.
Huge play there. Martez reading that off the backboard, kicks it directly to Vexamed, and then removes the goaltender to leave a wide open net. Well played, surgical there from Black Army. 2-1.
And unfortunately for all the Cauldron fans, this Casey Cauldron side is dealing with a Black Army team that has been a bit of a sleeping giant recently. And now they've woken up and they have been relentless. Oh, this is not looking good for Casey Cauldron right now. They need a goal back ASAP. Now that they've conceded 2 goals, they've gone down 2-0. This is looking like a rough game for Casey Cauldron. As Martez almost got a third. Vexamed coming in to intervene as well. It's looking a bit too easy, if I'm going to be very honest.
Yeah, it feels like Casey Cauldron is shaken right now. I feel like they've lost their confidence. The beginning of this game started out both teams playing really conservatively, nobody willing to risk anything. And then now that the scoreline's gone up, Casey's just looking timid.
So I want to answer a question in chat that came up real quick. Mr. Spartan Thug asked, is this the official team for Kansas? No, this is not the official team for Sporting KC. This is the team that represents the Casey Cauldron supporters group. And then Black Army is the team that represents the Black Army supporters group of Los Angeles FC. So basically what CU Bank said. It's a supporters group league, effectively. And right now the
It is
go ahead.
the official fans league.
I don't know about official.
I'm saying it.
That's your opinion, but if we have a way to make ourselves official, I'd love to have that, but we'll see if we can get to that point. Eric Saunders, though, playing a nice pass. Vexamed re-jumping off the backboard, trying to redirect it into the back of the net. That is insane creativity. Looks like Black Army is having fun out there. But yeah, can he help Casey Cauldron out? That was a big pass attempt. Thorngold tried to get up, but he couldn't get the shot off. As much as Casey Cauldron can try right here, Black Army looked like the better side, and with less than 40 seconds to go, they need a goal right now. Eric Saunders off of the backboard. Yep, with a weak touch, still keeps some control. Eric Saunders, though, gets the ball away from him, and now Vex has it. Aerial dribble attempt. Not much boost. Trying to get a shot on target. Nice defensive intervention from the Cauldron. Once again, all three are on the back foot, and they try and play forward to no one. And that plays right into Black Army's hands with a huge 2-goal lead right here.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stick with it, man. Casey Cauldron is scrambling. They look off kilter, and Black Army has them pinned down. And with just 4 seconds to go, Vexamed puts it out of reach.
3 seconds to go. Black Army take a 3-0 lead, and they surely are gonna win 3 games to seal this match. A big scalp against the Casey Cauldron team that was getting back up and getting into form. What a huge win for Black Army.
Yeah, this is a big deal for Black Army. It's going to cement them in the standings. Casey Cauldron able to take solace that they stopped the sweep. They clawed a point back for themselves. But this is nothing but helpful for Black Army here as Thorngold squeezes in a consolation goal at 0. Well played there. Casey, you looked good, but Black Army was on fire today.
3-1 in this game and 3-1 in this match. A second 3-1 for the night, and the second time that a team wins game 1 but then loses the rest of the games. Terrific performance by Black Army. What a bounce back they've had right here. And what a night of SGL as well, folks. Thank you all for being right here. We are so glad you've been able to hang out with us and watch these great matches. Man, Black Army put on a show today, didn't they?
Yeah, and I have to say both games were incredibly entertaining. And nothing better than seeing a good team do good things. And we got to see 4 teams do good things, but unfortunately only 2 can win it. Well done from ECRC and well done from Black Army there to take these W's. Absolutely great gameplay from both there. Rydog led the Timbers Army to victory in Game 1 against ECRC. They unfortunately got that momentum going, were able to bully their way back to a 3-1 win for ECRC. And then, quite similarly, KC Cauldron started out kind of hot on this one, and Black Army was able to over-bully, and shut them down. So, well played from all 4 teams today.
Yeah, and you know what? For Timbers Army, they may have lost, but they got 1 game. That's really good for them in their playoff race, especially now that we've seen KC Cauldron lose in the second match of the night. That 1 point is going to be even more important for Timbers Army as they keep themselves up by 3 points ahead of KC Cauldron. However, for Black Army, this has been a massive win for them, and in all honesty, they really needed it.
Yeah, and KC Cauldron not looking as dominant as they did, last season or whatever, but hey man, they put up a good fight here. But Black Army, absolutely game-changing from last season. So excited to see how this is going to turn out as we get deeper into the season here. And if I'm not mistaken, I think ECRC is back at least temporarily on top of the standings.
They should be, yes. I am updating the standings right now. And whilst I do that, Toad, who were your performers of the night from all the matches?
Yeah, so I think that basically the outstanding performer is going to be, for me, it's going to be Rydog on Timbers Army. And he was definitely the outstanding performer. Gojo, Toad, and Smashley, they really did a good job in their own right, but Rydog was the spearhead of that first game series there. And then
Did I say Toad? What did I say?
You said Toad, so I was just trying to do a Toad impression. The chat's going
well, there
nuts.
you go. I've been so busy, I screwed up. That's on me. I'll own it.
That's all right. The people are enjoying the impression. That's what's going on.
That's why I was wondering why your
Anyway.
voice changed. Too. Like, what the heck? What
Yeah.
happened? Anyways, Cordog, your performance of the night, as you were saying.
Yeah, so second series, man, it was kind of an everybody show. Man, I'm having a moment here. Vexamed, Eric Saunders, Martez, and Kilasapo, the flow of those guys, the ability to change players and have that full team full flow. Wow, that was full team full flow. The ability to swap in somebody else and keep that same energy. These guys are either playing together a lot, they know each other really well, but I can't really pick one out of that. Obviously, Vexamed had the hot aerials. Martez and Vexamed were connecting with each other, but Kilasapo and Eric Saunders filled their roles where they needed to be. They were where they needed to be, and they made things happen. So I can't really pick one for Black Army there, but man, all 4 of those guys being able to swap in and out like that and stay hot. That was a great team effort from those guys.
So, folks, we will be getting an interview ready for you guys in a little bit. And I do want to say this. You did mention Eric Saunders. I'm going to pick him out. He looked really, really, really good. And I was like, wow. That's like the kind of player that Black Army needed to help out, Vexamed and Martez or whoever the other player was. And they looked like a whole other team altogether. Vexamed was at his best, looking so phenomenal. And even Martez came up looking so mechanically solid. I'm like, wait a minute, you had this in your pocket the whole time? Dang, okay. Yeah, those guys were really impressive. For me, though, the performance of the night overall have to be Gojo. I think Gojo came up huge. He was all over the place, the complete player, for sure. And he showed us why we need to take him seriously in SGL. To go with Rydog, I think Rydog had a terrific matchup as well. He was huge, just doing everything for his team. And, that's why I feel that match was close, because Rydog had, in my opinion, the best performance he's had this season. And then in the second match between Black Army and Cauldron, I would say Yef was looking really good. But I think the main guys were definitely Vexamed and Eric Saunders. Well, actually, not Eric Saunders. Martez, yeah. Martez, when he came in game 2, he turned it around altogether. So good.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I just want to retouch on that Timbers one. The other two members, Piglet and the other guy, dang it, my brain. Anyway,
Nelly.
They were allowing Rydog to do those things, and that's critical to be able to know that your back line is held up, to be able to know that that pass is coming, know where your teammates are. Especially in game 1, really allowed Rydog to get out there and do the things. So, mad respect to. Man, it's just kind of sad that I can't remember who it was.
It's okay. We are going to be getting up to our interview very shortly. Just waiting on who we are going to start off with. And it looks like we are going to have
Nelly.
an interview with Smashly very shortly.
It was Nelly was the other one, right?
Yeah, it was Nelly.
Okay. I remembered who it was. The name escapes me. I'm so bad with names. Oh man. But hey,
right.
Great series. Even though 3-1, 1-3, those numbers don't show out what the series were. So that was a good battle from both sets of teams there.
So before I break Smash in, I want to read a comment from Isidore. He changed his name and became a demon. Eric Saunders. Yeah, bro, he absolutely did. He freaking, I don't know what happened, but woo! What a freaking performance from Eric tonight. Incredible. And from you too as well, by the way. You look really good as well. All right. Vexmet saying glaze me. Hey, when we bring in a potential Black Army interviewee, we'll see how much you get glazed. But for now, Smashly FC, welcome into the commentary booth. Huge match win after what looked like a tough game 1 loss for you all. How are you all doing? How are you all feeling?
Yeah, pretty good. I think we kind of did what we always do in game 1, which is kind of sit back and observe and absorb and kind of just figure things out. But I think we just weren't quite ready for the violence right out of the gate. So once we kind of figured that out, we talked between games 1 and 2, and then 2 and 3, and then after that we felt pretty okay despite the close score line. But a lot of our games are like 1 or 2 goal games all the time, but we're normally on the right end of that.
Yeah, and
Guys,
go ahead.
yeah. How did Toad and Gojo deal with playing 2v3 the entire time though? That's got to be a challenge.
We won.
No, I'm just asking about the struggle, not the outcome.
So yeah, I think we kind of felt like at some point that Piglet and Nelly were kind of just like letting Rydog do his thing.
Yeah.
And so at some point I feel like in games 3 and 4 I kind of just at times just gave up playing the game and just was going for harassment runs.
Right.
Which was leaving Toad and Gojo kind of back, but I was trying to be strategic about it. But part of them like letting Rydog do his thing though was the two of them would come up and like harass us. So it was probably the most violent game of the season.
And real quick, as a guy who enjoys the physical gameplay, it was nice to see Toad start unleashing his beast there towards the end and going for physical play himself. And I did definitely notice that you weren't playing Rocket League, you were playing Bump the Rydog, which is why I asked about Toad and Gojo playing 2v3. That was the whole joke.
Toad has been a bit different this season. He's swapped to the don't fire until fired upon rule. And so, Rydog and crew started it, and we just had to finish it,
You heard it here first.
So despite the change in approach, where you guys got more physical, particularly against Rhydog, those games were still very close. So what do you think was the difference between you guys and them in eking out those victories in each of games 2, 3, and 4?
This is like our third or fourth season, and we're kind of past the nerves at this point. And when we have a lead, we kind of just are a lot better at absorbing without letting goals in. We have an absurdly large percentage of 1-point wins. I feel like over the last 3 seasons, and we kind of. Like, we even kind of like played down to, some of the teams lower in the standings, and you'll only see us, do 1 or 2 goal wins on those. With the rare exception of game 1, like 10-0s against like Los Verdes and Palace. But outside of that, like, it's usually like 1 or 2 goal leads. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't know how that, like, we don't blow people out very often unless it's Palace's team. But outside of that, like, it doesn't seem to happen very often.
Hey,
Right.
look at it this way. Despite the results being close, you guys still have control. You guys still see off the games, and that's what makes you guys so good. So, from here on in, are you guys aiming to try and finish at or near the top in like the top 2 spots, or are you guys just content to basically make it into the playoffs?
I mean, we're happy with 1 and 2 just getting the bye, with the exception of like if there's a threat from a team not on West servers. So, I mean, I see, us and Black Army are up there hanging out. Locals are up. I think Locals are the only other team with 1 loss. So, honestly, like, as long as it's like us and Locals and Black Army kind of in the top, top 2 there, and I feel like we're feeling pretty good about our chances in the playoffs. But obviously, like, the champion isn't crowned from the season this year, so the goal is just to like get that bye week,
Absolutely. Sounds good. Now, we're going to leave the floor to you, Smash. If you have anything you want to say, go right ahead.
Just good luck to Emerald City Blue tomorrow night, and AC Defiance on Friday night. We're trying to go for our first ever 3-win week, and I think this is the week that it can happen.
Yeah, that would be great to see if all Emerald City teams could get wins this week. And you know what? There's a chance. Let's not say it will never happen. There's a chance for sure. Especially, well done to you. Great performance by you and your team. Great win tonight. And we'll catch you next time, Smashy. Take care.
Yeah, thanks.
All right.
So that isn't it for the interviews, Core Dog. We do have an interview from Timber's Army coming up as well.
Ooh.
We will get that ready very shortly. But I just want to know your thoughts on like how cool and composed Emerald City RC are. And he made a very good point, Smashy. Like, these guys have been around for a while. They're pretty much used to how this goes now. Like, if you're any other team, that's going to be worse, right? Because what you want to do is you want to try and unsettle the opposition. But if nothing unsettles them, how do you beat them?
Yeah, and well, Smasher kind of covered that. They're and I call it the slow train. He can sit there and pretend that it's absorbing and observing. They have a slow start. It doesn't matter who they're playing. It could be a 1-game series. The first game is gonna be rough for ECRC, and I don't know if that's lack of warming up. I don't know if that's the big show, the big stage, but getting that early lead against ECRC and keeping them unsettled is the key to beating them. From the guy who's played with them a significant amount. Gojo, insane animal. Toad, insane animal. Smashly, own goals once a series. I mean, they're all 3 really good players. It's just a matter of can you keep them from doing what they want to do? And they do end up making adjustments. They do end up getting it forward. I wouldn't be surprised if Spanky was a good part of that in this series here. So keeping them from doing what they want to do is the key to beating ECRC.
Absolutely. And let's see if Timber's Army have learned some lessons from tonight, because we are going to be bringing in Rhydog from Timber's Army. Rhydog, welcome on in. Tough loss after that great game 1 start, but you guys aren't too disheartened, are you?
No, I hope not. I think I'm definitely not. I know Piglet definitely isn't as well. I know Nelly is, just because he was having some internet and some computer issues that he was trying to solve on the fly like before we started, and then they kind of went away, and then they came back kind of towards the end of that series. So I know he was pissed for that reason, but no, that's the best we've played all year. And it's funny because it's like I've said it before on this broadcast, and I'll say it 50 times again. We play better when we just like play in the like during the week. And so since we played Steel Army literally yesterday, like you can count that as like practice for this game in a way of like just being on the game and playing together. And so yeah, we looked a lot better tonight, and we just can't frickin' beat ECRC, but yeah, we played the best we played all season.
Yeah, it was important that you guys got that game 1 win, and I agree. You guys were at your absolute best all season. I think, as you said, playing again after playing yesterday kind of helped, but still, do you kind of get this feeling that you deserved a little bit more from this match, or are you happy enough with just winning 1 game?
I mean, I'm not happy, of course, just like from the surface level, not win. I want to win more games. I want to win this series. But if somebody said, you're going to take a game off of one of the league leaders, I'd be okay with that, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, it's the best we've looked, and we just can't deal with their chaos. Like, it's just a chaotic way of playing, and I was listening to Smashly earlier, and yeah, they've been doing this for a few seasons now, and they just know how to play with it, and we just don't know how to deal with it. And so yeah, it's a props to them, of course, for just knowing how to deal with and knowing how to play with their own play style and just owning that. But yeah, we gotta figure it out. We got 2 more games left, 2 more series left, and we theoretically, I don't know what the table looks like. I'm sure you'll show it a little later, but we might have to win out to have a shot. So
Yeah, you might need to just to secure that playoff spot, but doing the math right now, you got 1 game, Casey Cauldron also got 1 game, both of you lost, so you still have that 3-point gap over them, which is huge, honestly. So, despite the loss, not a terrible result in the grand scheme of things. But my final question before I pass it off to Core Dog, what are some of the lessons you learned from tonight's game, even considering the fact that, Nelly had his internet issues?
I think Maz, you're the one that said, or maybe it was Corndog that said it, that yeah, that was the best I played all season. I don't know what it is about like just the rest of the games. Like I don't know if it's like a nerve thing or just a psychological thing, but it definitely for myself, it was just like proving to myself that I could still play at a top level. So I was really stoked about that. You can ask anybody in my friend group. I'm not a carrier. I'm usually the one in the backpack. So I'm not, and I'm not saying like I had to carry my team this time, but I'm just saying that like if I'm on top of the scoreboard every single game, like theoretically that leaves more an issue for me, because typically that means I'm playing well, which is good, but then it means that like I can't like carry the rest of the team, if that makes sense in a way.
I totally understand where you're coming from, dude. I have the same exact problem with my gameplay, so when you talked about it, I instantly got it.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I thought Kyle and Reese played really well tonight too. It's just, yeah, Reese was pissed at his internet and everything, and I thought Kyle played really well too. Maybe not as accurate as he was yesterday in Steel Army, but still. But yeah, no, lots of things to learn as a team too. Like I said, we just keep growing, and when we play together, we do really well. So I'm happy about that, and we got 2 more weeks to figure it out and hopefully make a top 6.
Sounds good. Anything from your end, Core Dog?
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on the incredible physical play. I'm a huge fan of physical play, and you guys brought it hard. Was that a conscious decision, or was that just rolling with the flow of the game?
Definitely more the latter. It was kind of always in the back of my head to do that. Because it's funny, because Smashly said that, like we were the ones that kind of started it, because you mentioned something about Toad. like usually being the aggressor and Smashy saying, no, well, he didn't really want to start it, but then we kind of started it. So I think it just warranted that kind of gameplay, especially in game one. Like we just played like super well, obviously, and like those bumps. Like I think the first goal we scored of the series was I'm dribbling up the field, Nelly gets a bump, and we score. Like yeah, I was thinking in my head, like if that's the way that we're gonna have to score like every game or every time, like then we just gotta play physical, and that's the way it has to be. The problem is ECRC retaliate, and they're really freaking good and annoying with their demos, and they also score off of that chaos, like I mentioned. So it's like a give or take with them. But yeah, it wasn't really part of the plan, but it kind of became the plan as the series progressed.
Nice. Yeah, that first game specifically with Nelly bumping the goalie out and opening up that net. Definitely set the pace and set the tone, and then seeing that physical play continue even when the game continued on and stuff started to shift back, it was nice to see that, because I've said it before and I'll say it again, the key to stopping ECRC is preventing them from doing what they want to do. They're a big fan of the 1-2-1 pass plays into the goal. They're 1-2-3 pass plays, and if you can delete any one of those numbers, you can stop those from happening. Toadette did just say in the chat, Nelly came out seeing red.
Yeah, like I said, he was mad about his internet sitch, because he was just mad that the one gameplay thing he was mad about was not getting enough boost. So, and which is true, they were stealing it all, which that's part of their gameplay too, which is also annoying to play against. But he definitely was upset about that. But then also, his internet and just not being able to see it at a normal 120 frames or 144 frames.
All right, well, hey, I think you guys definitely played a good game. I think you guys definitely played a good series, and I would love to see that rematch without Nelly having internet issues for sure.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think if we take that game 2, I think we win the series if we take that game 2. We even scored first in game 2, and I got really stoked.
All 3 of ECRC's wins were by 1, so any time you guys could have clapped back.
Exactly. Yeah, it was close the whole series, and that just proves that like we can, we might be down in the standings, but we can be a sleeper too. So yeah, hopefully I always enjoy playing them just because it's always like super competitive. And so yeah, I hope we can see him again in the top 6 if we make it.
That's it for me, Mez.
All right, so Rydog, do you have any last words you want to say? The floor is yours, dude.
Yeah, thanks for putting on the stream, guys. Appreciate it. GG's to my team, played super well. And then of course GG's to ECRC. Like I said, they're annoying to play against, but it's always a good match. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Rydog.
Hey,
Yeah, have a good night, guys.
have a good night, Rydog. Once again, good games from you. You've been at your best this week. Hopefully you guys can keep this up as well as you make your playoff push. We'll catch you next time, dude. There it is. We do have one more interview lined up for you folks, but before we get there, I'm just gonna be honest about this. It does suck to see Timbers Army come out with their performance as good as it was throughout the season. They've been at their best against ECRC. And it's like they kind of deserved another game. They deserve to take this to game 5, but I think winning that one game, given the result in the Black Army KC Cauldron match, it's still a good result at the end of the day, right? So they should have to be too disappointed overall.
Yeah, and definitely a great fight there, and at any moment they had so many balls off the post there for Timbers Army. If they could have got one of those this weekend, if they could have taken one of those games to overtime, we definitely would have seen at least a game 5. So it was just that matter of hitting the 2-foot putt in golf, and they missed a couple of those, and that put them out of the lead. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see a rematch from these guys down the road, and Timbers Army at least put up more of a fight, if not take the series.
Yeah, absolutely. Toadette, I know you're saying nah, I get it, and you guys do deserve to win that whole match 3-1. It's just they came out at their best, and I just hope it doesn't dishearten them anymore. That's all I'm saying. That was my point. Uh, Speaking of disheartening, you'd have thought Black Army would have been disheartened, but no, they bounced back and they convincingly beat KC Cauldron 3-1. And joining us in the commentary booth for the interview is Black Army's Isidore. Hey, Isidore. How you doing, my man? I feel like it's been a while since we last chatted, but you guys came out huge and got a big win against KC Cauldron tonight.
Yeah, first game was a little slow, you know. It wasn't as expected, but I feel like majority of the time we play, most of the time I'm not too sure if I'm correct, but I feel like we lose the first game all the time.
Yeah, you guys do tend to struggle at the earlier phases of the match, and you guys struggle to get going. But you guys had such a fast start. I was wondering, what was so different about today compared to the last few weeks?
We've been, well, not everyone exactly in the team, but at least two of us have been staying up at night, just practicing our aerials or our passing plays, and we're kind of taking it more serious because we're all individually good, but as a team, we're not as good as we want to be, you know?
Absolutely. And you know what? That practice definitely paid off as you guys were able to defend way better and build up your attacks way better. Your finishing was kind of a struggle. So on that note, with your shots not being on target as often, did that bring in some worries in the back of your head? Did that make you guys feel concerned at all?
No, not really. I think it was more of our rotation and then who was back when they needed to be back, you know. But the whole accuracy, we're not too worried about that. I feel like if you see us missing, it's probably because one of us is nervous or we're just overthinking it a little bit. But it's not one of our worries, to be honest. I think it's more of the team play that we're trying to build.
Right, I got you. And you know what? Having that attitude helped you guys out because your rotations looked as crisp as if they've ever been. And you guys were playing such fast Rocket League. It was like thinking, dang, you guys didn't play this fast since week 1 against Timber's Army when you beat the 3-2, you know? So it's really good to see you guys bounce back. And on that note, I do want to highlight a couple of big individual performances. First from Vexman, but also from Martez. I want to highlight Martez first. You guys brought him in game 2 and he made a huge difference. So, with him playing so well, is he established as one of the 3 guys in your lineup now?
Yeah, if majority of the time he's the one that's always on top of the board because he's always saving it, or I don't know, he's like that perfect player in a team, you know. I think he's the smartest one as well in our team. So at any time you guys see Martez on the team, it's gonna be he's gonna be a good player in that game. I think there's only 1 week I know that he had a bad week, but I mean we all have bad weeks. We're all human. We're not perfect, you know.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's really good. I mean, and then you got Vex, who tries to freestyle a bit, but he's also very accurate too. So if anything, it's just me and Eric that are trying to just keep up with him, and we're just trying to get better, and our chemistry is just building little by little, you know.
Dude, absolutely. And speaking of Eric, he came in today and he looked like a whole new player altogether. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Eric was good, don't get me wrong. He was still pretty good, but today he was just on top of his game and he was just phenomenal in every which way. It looked like nothing fazed him at all. So, what was that transformation based on? Because that was not the same Eric as he was from a while back.
I think after last week of us playing, he's a really good player, but he's been sitting up to 3-4 in the morning just practicing his what do you call it, his mechanics and all that. So that shows that his those 3-4 a.m. nights of him just playing by himself is getting him better.
Practice makes perfect, doesn't it? And
yeah,
it paid off for you guys at the end of the day right here with a huge freaking win. And Vexman looked like he was having a lot of fun as well. So what were the comps like from your end? Were you guys enjoying this a whole lot more?
Yeah, they kind of were. We're just the first game was just kind of off, and they were just. I feel like I said, I feel like we lose the first game all the time. But then the next 3 games that we played, I think we won 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
The second to third game, we were just chilling. Honestly, it felt kind of like we were going back and forth, but we sounded more confident than usual. And then our third game, one of us saw that that majority of the chat voted that KC was gonna win, so it kind of put a flame in all of them. and that's why they're just fooling around the fourth game.
Oh yeah, and you know what? You guys in the fourth game, you guys turned up and were just so phenomenal. Huge bounce back win from all y'all. Well done on that. Cordog, do you have anything you want to ask or talk about?
Yeah, I just have my one big thing here was you guys rotated between the four of you, and it was seamless. Is that something you've been doing with like practice? Was that the whole plan the whole time? Like, it didn't seem to matter who was in and who was out. You guys were functioning really well and nice and hot for a team.
Yeah, so typically every day we try to play. Whoever's on first, the first two that are on, we end up playing, and then like sometimes Vex will be on, and then me and Eric will play Vex, and then sometimes Kron will be on, so me, Eric, and Kron will play. We literally all play like equally together, so it kind of works out in this whole league well for us. So we all kind of like built chem with each other. So I say it's kind of cool how we could switch out, and like if someone feels like the next game's gonna be a little iffy for them, then we just get someone else in, and we know the performance is still gonna be there.
Yeah, it was really good to see that. I was very impressed, and you guys, like I said, great chemistry, great flow, and it didn't matter who was on the field. It felt like you guys knew where the ball was going to be, and you were there to deal with it. So well done from you guys. Excited to see you up in the upper end of the standings here, and where you're going to go towards the end of the season. Cool. All right, that's it for me, Maz.
Yeah, so we will check the standings in a little bit to see where the teams are. But before we do, Isidore, any last words from you before we end this interview?
Yeah, I appreciate the league, and I just want to shout out my team for actually trying to get better every night. I mean, a lot of us put hours into it, just try to get better for this league. And I honestly think for the ones that think we're all right, or for the ones that think we're good, I think in these next upcoming weeks, you guys are gonna see way more from us. We're gonna go even harder, and we're gonna try to get even better than what we are.
Oh, we cannot wait. Because when the teams get better, the quality of the league overall gets better, and it gets way more competitive, way more fun to watch on stream as well. Thank you very much for your time, Isidore. Really appreciate it. Have a good night, and we'll catch you next time, dude.
You guys all have a good night.
So, folks, we're going to jump right into the league table immediately. Going to wrap up real soon as well, because we don't have that much time in the stream anymore. As you can see right here, with their convincing 3-1 wins, Emerald City RC and Black Army are in the top 2. However, Black Army have yet to have their bye week, so this win is still big because it creates a bigger gap between them and the rest of the teams further down below in the table. But we'll see if Black Army can keep getting that momentum going and amass those wins before their bye week, because those top 2 spots are going to be critical, especially for when you want to go over to the next rounds, further into the playoffs, and also win the whole thing. Now, following up from the top 2, we have El Matador in 3rd. After the convincing win against the Rebellion yesterday, they're sitting pretty in 3rd, 1 point off of 2nd and 2 points off of 1st. And then you have the Locals, who have yet to play their game match this week, 4 points off of the top and 3 points off of 2nd. And then Rebellion tied on points with them in 5th. Yes, folks, the top 5 are separated by 4 points. Just 1 win. That's absolutely incredible, and it speaks volumes as to how much better this league has gone. And in all honesty, I am looking forward to the race for the top 2 spots as we get towards the end of the regular season. And as well, the race for 6th is heating up too, because Timber's Army and KC Cauldron are only separated by 2 points. I think I was wrong when I said they were separated by 3. Let me just check my math to be sure, because I'm not sure if that's correct. But still, Timber's Army are in the correct position. They are indeed in 6th, and KC Cauldron are indeed in 7th. 1 point ahead of Emerald City Blue, and then Los Verdes, Steel Army, and Emerald City Defiance round off the rest of the teams. Core Dog, what are your thoughts on the matches that have gone so far, and how this table's looking at this time?
Yeah, so like you mentioned earlier, that 4-point spread from 1st to 5th is incredible. It is really nice to see how tight this race is. It's not a guarantee for anyone, It's not that season where we're seeing KC Cauldron ahead by, exaggerating here, 12 points, and there's no hope. It's anyone's game. And, looking at the standings here, Black Army squirting all the way up into second place there. Only if El Matador only wins one game and loses the series, they're going to be tied for second. The Locals is going to have to do everything except for sweep to get up to that level. So it's a good, tight, close race here. This is a very entertaining season going on here. So I'm excited to see how this is going to wash out. And, even like KC Cauldron isn't out of this. If they can sweep a series and then win one, they're still in the mix-up. So it's going to be really exciting here. Emerald City Blue could jump up with a good win here and go up to 4-3. They'd knock Timbers Army down out of the 6th spot. So it's nice to see close, competitive, high-octane gaming here.
Oh, absolutely. And you're going to have to watch, you have to follow along with SGL for the rest of this week and for the next couple of weeks for the rest of the season, because the races for the top 2 and 6 are just going to keep heating up. The gap is started widened, though, between 8th and the rest. You have a 4-point gap between 6th and 8th. Emerald City Blue still in there, and they do have the Locals to play tomorrow. I think they have finalized that matchup schedule. But then you have Los Verdes, Steel Army, and EC Defiance are going further and further away. And for all those teams, they have to win now. They cannot afford to lose any more of their matches. If they lose one, they're very likely out of the race altogether, realistically speaking, though not mathematically. When it comes to the mathematics, you have a 13-point gap between Defiance and Timbers Army. So Defiance must win. They have to win now. If they lose this week, it's all over for them, mathematically speaking, because the gap then becomes 13 points instead of, what would it be if they won? Well, they need to win a game at least in order to keep up with Timbers Army, even though their win percentage is very low. 2 games will keep them in contention, though, but they cannot afford to get swept, and they cannot afford to just win 1 game. They have to win 2 and win the match. Either way, all of Los Verdes, Steel Army, and Emerald City Defiance need to start racking up more wins. They cannot afford to just keep losing their matches if they want to get to 6th place.
Yeah, and it's still anybody's freaking game, man. It could be a completely different standing sheet literally next week. So definitely make sure you stay tuned here to the Supporters Gaming League and catch those upcoming games.
Folks, that about wraps it up for our stream. Thank you all so much for sticking with us for these past 2 hours. We had the first matchup between Timbers Army and Emerald City RC finish off 3-1, and then Black Army versus KC Cauldron finishing 3-1 as well to Black Army. Thank you all so much for being with us. Have a good night. Corn Dog, thank you very much for commentating throughout the stream. I really appreciate you hanging out here and helping us out. And to the rest of y'all, we hope we can catch you next time for the next SGL stream. Have a good night. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
All right. See you later.